Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm looking at your reaction to my video of Elton John's top 20 tracks from the 1980s. So I'm doing a project working through each decade, looking at my favourite tracks from each decade. So I've had my say. Now let's see what you said in your comments. Now, thank you very much for what you've said, and as a result of your comments, I've discovered 4 new tracks I hadn't rated before. So as we go through, I'm going to be commenting on these tracks and giving my own ratings using my normal scoring system of 1 to 10. So let's get started. So first off the blocks was Chad, who sent in his top 20 and a really interesting comprehensive selection of tracks he's gone for there, including things like Stone's Throw from Hurting, which I must admit I'm not keen on, but it's interesting that that's getting some backing, and Since God Invented Girls. Again, I wouldn't have gone for that. He's gone for Heels of the Wind from the Fox, which was one I consider certainly. It's a really good upbeat track. That Go It Alone from Leather Jackets is a favourite of mine as well. And Chad has got an uncollected B-side, Love is a Cannibal. Quite a ferocious, frenzied track, this one. And I'm glad you enjoy that one. Where Have All the Good Times Gone again from Jump Up is another good recording. So he's got Healing Hands at number 1. Well, that is a fine, uplifting track. Lots of people have chosen Empty Garden, which is Elton's tribute to John Lennon from Jump Up. I know that's a very popular track, that one. Didn't quite make my top 20, but I acknowledge there's a lot of support for that one. Now, Davis sent in his, including Dear John from Jump Up. So quite a few people like that album, I think. He's got All Quiet on the Western Front, the song about the First World War, also from that album. So, you know, there's some good tracks on there, perhaps a little bit underrated. Plenty of tracks at 21 at 33 are featuring Little Genie, and you know, several others from there are appearing. White Lady White Powder, for instance, is appearing on Davies' list. And number 1 is In Neon. That's a very underrated and underperformed song, I think, of Elton's, with this a really striking chorus on that, one of Elton's best refrains. So many thanks, Davey, for that. Now, 007 has sent a very interesting top 20 from the 1980s, including Mona Lisa Manhattan's Part 2, which of course fits very well with Part 1. But 2 tracks which I hadn't rated before and I need to talk about now. The first one is Sweetheart on Parade. Now, this is a track written in 1980, lyrics by Gary Osborne. It's got a haunting opening. It's an absolutely beautiful melody that Elton's come up with, and the lyrics are quite strong, I think, some of Gary Osborne's best. They're about loneliness, perhaps about the idea that stardom doesn't necessarily bring friendship. It can be lonely at the top, can't it? And the idea of friendship can be very difficult to come across, perhaps when you are a big star, I don't know. Now, unfortunately, all we have from Elton on this, as far as I can tell, is a demo version on the piano. And unfortunately, he makes a bit of a mistake at 3 minutes 25 when he sings the wrong lyric and corrects himself. It would be great to have a proper recording of this song. It's absolutely beautiful. Judy Collins did a cover version of this from 1984 recording. And come on, Elton, let's have this song laid down in a full version. The chords he uses here are just absolutely beautiful. It doesn't sound like anything else he's written in a way. So I'm very, very impressed by this song indeed. And in fact, as a result of that, I'm going to reach for my scoring cards here, my new scoring cards, which I got for Christmas. And I'm going to award this one a brilliant 9 out of 10. And as you know, if you're a regular viewer, I don't award that mark very often. So just to let you know, I've created a playlist called Elton John Rarities, which I will link from this video, and all of the new tracks from all these decade sort of retrospectives I've put in there. So if you want to hear any of them, just go to that playlist, give them a listen, and let me know under my video what you actually think. Now, the other one that 007 is referred to, his number 17, his or her number 17, is Les Aver. Now, Elton went through this sort of period of I think, trying to get into the French market. He certainly did a French version of Nobody Wins, and I love that song. Les Aver, which is all about the confession, I think, is the translation here. Lyrics by Bernie Taupin and Michel Berger, presumably involved in a translation there. And Elton sings this as a duet with the French singer France Gall. Now, this is all about being resolute. It's all about fighting back, having an inner spirit. Came out in 1981. There's a decent refrain to this, nice orchestral accompaniment, slight little echo of Your Song, I thought, between the chorus and the bridge. And it's a perfectly respectable one. I'm not sure it would have made my top 20, but fair enough if you're a really fan of this song. I'm going to award this one a fairly good 5 out of 10. To see what else 007's got in that top 20. Soul Glove. That's okay, I think, isn't it? And there's another one here at number 7, again stretching my knowledge here. This is Conquer the Sun. Now, this is not the Stevie Wonder song with a similar title. This is a B-side to Little Genie from the 21 at 33 sessions. Lyrics by Gary Osborne. The intro is slightly reminiscent of Song for Guy, I think. Elton's got his kind of single man voice, that sort of voice he was using around the end of the 1970s, beginning of the 1980s. It's about an alienated couple living in two different worlds who they could come together. The melody's not bad, it's quite pleasant, and I would say it certainly should have been on the 21 at 33 album. I'm sure they could have sneaked another track onto that vinyl, don't you think so? Anyway, thanks for letting me know about this track. I'm going to give it fairly good 5 out of 10. And 007's top track from the 1980s was, I guess that's why they call it the blues. Well, fair enough, that's a very fine recording, isn't it? Now, drums and piano have sent in their top 20. Breaking Hearts at number 1, a beautiful ballad, that one, isn't it? Elton's song, Nobody Wins, Cry to Heaven, Cold as Christmas. That's a very fine top 5. Got Durban Deep in there, not a favourite of mine, but, you know, fair enough. Some people like that one. And Fascist Faces, okay. Sartorial Eloquence, which turned out to be my top 1. And then Burning Buildings, that's another good one, like In Neon, you know, some good refrains from that album. So the Breaking Hearts album is proving quite popular amongst subscribers. What else has drums and piano got? Well, Slow Rivers in there at 20. I think that's the only person who's mentioned that track. Of course, Elton's duet with Cliff Richard. Some people quite dislike it, actually. It's quite an unusual track, the way that's put together and the melody. So next person was Beth Norden, who has Elton's song as number 1. That song, of course, from the Fox. Beautiful melody, very heartfelt, very emotional, very personal to Elton, I think, that one. Burning Buildings again coming in there. So more from Breaking Hearts. Lots of people enjoy that track. Nice to see Sweetheart on Parade there. Legal Boys, my favourite track from the Jump Up album. Now, at number 16 in Beth's top 20 is Rope Around a Fall. Now, this is another new one on me. This was the B-side to I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That from the Red Strikes Back sessions in 1988. Lyrics by Bernie Taupin. This has got a driving sort of rock blues feel to it. Elton's roll and piano very prominent in this one, some excellent playing going on there, and some interesting words in the lyrics there from Bernie. How can you get the words miscommunication and mass determination into a comfortable flowing lyric? Well, he seems to manage it, doesn't he? So very much a Red Strikes Back feel to this. You know, his voice was very distinctive at that period. And I would compare it maybe with the track Restless, something like that, you know, that sort of mode for it. So a decent song, a fairly good song. I'm going to award that one 5 out of 10. Mark Harris draws from the 21 at 33 album for his chronologically ordered favourites from the 1980s. Give Me the Love, which was in my top 20, and White Lady, White Powder. That appears in several people's choices, and I'm very pleased to see Just Like Belgium in there, as you know, one of my favourite 80s tracks. Some good selections in there. In Neon, Burning Buildings, you know, if we awarded marks for how often they appear, they're going to be very high up in a sort of an all-round top 20 for that period. And The Retreat in there, which I still think could be Elton's best B-side, uncollected. Now, Ken has also sent in a top 20 in no particular order. Again, Little Genie and Sartorial Eloquence, those are quality tracks, aren't they, from 21 at 33. Burning Buildings, again in there, and in Neon. Now, he's got Candy by the Pound in there from Ice on Fire. Not one of my favourites, got to say, but it's nice to see these kind of left field choices from some of you. Cold as Christmas, Poor Cow as well. That doesn't seem to feature on many lists, but again, Ken is a keen fan of that one. Now, just one more to look at. This is from Iwin Downs. This one has got I'm Still Standing at number 1, followed by One More Arrow. Again, it's a track I like. I like the melody on that. I'm not too keen on the delivery and production on that one. Just Like Belgium, thank you very much, and Nobody Wins. We like those. Two Rooms at the End of the World. So another one I considered for my top 20. That, of course, is from 21 at 33 as well. A Word in Spanish. Blue Avenue, not many choices for that one, although I did enjoy that. And Hoop of Fire, again, not one I'd have thought of, but it's interesting to see what people are putting in their top 20s. Right, well, thank you so much for those comments. Keep them coming in. Lots of people got interesting views on the 1980s. Now, I just want to show you my spreadsheet of top Elton John tracks so far in mark order and the impact that this has had on it, because there we see coming in, I think at number 19 is Sweetheart on Parade. Now, these 9s are not in any particular order, so they're probably just coming out alphabetically at the moment or something. So that one could even go further up in my overall ratings of Elton John tracks. So many thanks for those comments. 1980s was quite a rich period for Elton, a different sort of song, I think, from the 1970s, moving more towards kind of the pop song rather than the storytelling classics of the 1970s, but still lots of rich tracks to choose from. So please comment below if you've got other things you want to say. I've done another one on the 1990s and I'm currently working on the 2000s, which will be out shortly. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, we're still standing.